the mic, making sure production's tight.
Here we go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the latest on Manchester United transfer news. Now, sorry about that. I'm just a bit hyped. We're actually doing a little piece of business in the transfer market. Yes, it's about time. Yes, it's been a long time coming. And yes, it's actually a quality player. It's no longer an under 16 or whatever the case may be. We're actually bringing in someone into the first team lineup. I'm really excited because, as I said before, it's quite exciting. We're actually bringing in some quality as we have done previous transfer windows under Ollie. But this time, obviously, we're adding to what we've already got, which is quality. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as the famous statement is made. So, as you all know by now, it's all about Donny van der Beek. And long story short, he is on Manchester United's transfer radar, has been for a long time. But this one kind of went under the radar a little bit because we've been so focused on Jadon Sancho. We've been focused on a centre back. To what I may add, we still are interested in a centre back. However, this is all about Donny van der Beek. Now, 40 million has been agreed and has been the rumoured price tag that's been agreed between Ajax and Manchester United. Now, the really interesting thing is because obviously we all know, well, most of us know that he was linked with Real Madrid. In actual fact, he was agreed. There was a fee agreed between Ajax and Real Madrid. There was never anything signed though. There was never any personal terms agreed. That was just before the lockdown in February. Now, Donny van der Beek is someone of massive talent and a massive technical ability. Now, before we signed Bruno, when Pogba was injured and we were lining up with Nemanja Matic, Fred and McTominay, I was screaming out saying, look, these guys do not have the technical ability to receive the ball under pressure, make the relevant passes, or have the vision to actually see the certain runs that our strikers were making. Our strikers are making them runs, still them same runs, plus more now because they know ultimately they're going to get the ball. Now, one thing I found really interesting was the fact that Real Madrid and Barcelona were rumored to be interested as well at this time. But with the turmoil going on at Barcelona and with what's going on with Messi and whatnot, and Real Madrid, I suppose they've got fully established centre midfielders now: Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos. So where would Van der Beek fit in then? But I also hear you say, where will he fit in Manchester United's ranks? Now, because he can play all over the place, I feel like there's a few options that we could play. We could play him as sort of next to Manu Matic when there's a game that we're expecting to have lots of possession. Sorry, not next to Manu Matic, next to Paul Pogba, with Bruno Fernandes sitting up top ahead of them two. There's games where where Bruno Fernandes won't be able to play or Pogba won't be able to play, and he'll start in those games instead. The long and short of it is it's quality. Quality to the depth of the Manchester United squad, which is what we've really been crying out for. Now, personal terms have been agreed, as you'll be seeing down there on the ticker. Personal terms have been agreed, fees been agreed, medical is due in the next few days, more than likely Tuesday, Wednesday, expecting an announcement towards maybe Friday. Who knows? This one obviously wasn't really front page news for a change in terms of Manchester United transfers. It was, if you like, somewhat of a shock. All of a sudden, boom, personal fees been agreed, or personal terms have then agreed, and medicals looking like happening. He missed a friendly for Ajax on Saturday because obviously the deal had accelerated between us. Tottenham came in with a late bid as well for him in the 11th hour, but it was one of those. One of the things I find interesting with regards to Donny van der Beek is the fact that he is very versatile. And if we're looking at how he stacks up, one of the stats I wanted to look at is how he's stacking up against our current midfield. And basically, this is over the last season, and obviously you can see there you've got McTominay, Fred, Pogba, and Bruno Fernandes, our midfielders that we have at the moment, and how he stacks up with regards to them. Obviously, this is over the league campaign, so this would just be, for example, the Premier League games. Likewise, the Eredivisie league games that Van der Beek took part in. Obviously, McTominay, as you can see, McTominay played in 27 games in the Premier League, scored 4 and assisted on one occasion. Fred played 29 games, wasn't, and he isn't, and he's not expected really to be a creator nor a goal getter. We know that he's more of a combative midfielder and sort of like sort of buzzes around. But likewise, he's in our midfield. So between Fred and McTominay, one playing 29, 27 games. Between them, they've scored 4 goals and 1 assist. Obviously, Fred not getting on that, but that's the point. It's between them two. And when we had Nemanja Matic behind them, you can see why from those stats, why we weren't creating a lot, why we weren't scoring a lot, why we were relying on keeping clean sheets and nicking a couple of goals on the counter attack. And you can see why from that graphic in terms of why we were struggling so much. Pogba obviously was injured for large parts of the season, played 16 games, scored 1 and assisted 3. That in itself on his own, in half the games that Fred and McTominay played together, he's almost equaled in goals and assists what they did together. So that's just Pogba. And then you bring Bruno Fernandes in January, and he's played obviously 2 less Premier League games than Pogba, scored 8 goals and assisted on 7 occasions as well. So that kind of tells you that the quality and why when Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba come off the pitch, that the golfing class in terms of quality is so evident. And then obviously you've got Donny van der Beek obviously playing all bar 1 Eredivisie game, scoring 10 goals and 11 assists. So, it goes to show the quality that he's got as well, which is very, very interesting indeed. And I like the fact that he is on the ball a lot. He's very confident. He is he can be quite attacking, but he's been reported as being quite a box to box, your traditional box to box midfielder. He's got very good stamina, gets up and down well, technically very good pass with the ball, and can finish on occasion as well when asked to as well. So one of the other stats I did want to have a look at as well is how he's progressed over, since he's been in the first team. Obviously his first season, he's been quite consistent, as you can say, never really having any trouble with injuries, which is fantastic. But as a central midfielder, you want him available all the time. So first season playing 32 games and assisting 4. Second season playing a few more games in all competitions and scoring 13 goals and scoring 6. Assisting on 6 occasions. And then the campaign when they almost went all the way to the Champions League final with De Ligt in that side and Frankie de Jong in that side as well, scoring 17 times and assisting 13 times. And then obviously last season, playing, like I said, in 37 games, scoring 10 goals and 11 assists. In total, 159 games and 40 goals and 34 assists for a central midfielder. That is a fantastic return, I must say. In terms of his consistency and availability for games, that's a really, really good turnout. Obviously, for example, where obviously you've got Pogba, you've got Fred, you've got McTominay, you've got Bruno, you've got Matic, and now it looks like we're adding Donny van der Beek to the mix as well, which is obviously brilliant. And he's consistent in terms of his performances and also his availability, which is what you want to see as well. One other sort of graphic I did want to show you, courtesy of Sky Sports, is how it's broken down in terms of his Eredivisie performances last season. Just in the league, he scored on 8 occasions, assisting 5, and created 41 opportunities. The real open and shut chances he made, listed as big chances, were 6, and shots on target was 16. So he's ranked obviously 14th in terms of assists, which is pretty good. 17th in terms of goals, which is pretty good. 20th in chance created, 32nd in terms of big chances created, and 36th in terms of shots on target. Now, those are very interesting stats. You can see the heat map there on the left-hand side in terms of where he operates. Now, Pogba likes to operate off that right hand side if he's sitting back there, which is great. And Bruno Fernandes likes to operate obviously further up the pitch. So that in itself is fantastic in terms of how he could fit in with Manchester United. And it's quite exciting because we're bringing in quality. We're not just bringing in players willy-nilly. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he'll be bringing to the fore. As I said already, the medical's booked in for this week, obviously being bank holiday. So looking forward to that. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribing and staying up to date with everything Manchester United. I will be covering all the latest transfer news. We will be doing podcasts with the likes of Jay and Adam McCullough and Flying Pig from their respective channels, and also some of my friends coming on as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked here. Make sure you're subscribing, and I shall catch you in the next one. Take care, guys. See you next time.